Hello and welcome to the Drawing Animal Podcast with Wesley Bear. I am your host, Wesley Bear. On today's episode, we have a short one, but a fun one. And also a somewhat cute one. Uh, until maybe you get into the details, and I don't know, maybe it's less cute once you actually know. But we are talking about a sea bunny. Yes, a sea bunny. No, it is not a bunny living in the sea. It is actually a sea slug, uh, belonging to a group of animals known as nudibranch. So it's a hairy little sea slug. These sea slugs are mostly found off the coast of Japan. They were actually first described, hopefully I'm saying this correctly, by Ki- Kikutaro Baba in the 1930s. He was an expert marine biologist specializing in mollusks. He actually described over 100 different species of mollusks living in the sea, and about 14 of today's sea mollusks. So mollusks living in the sea are actually named after him in some form or fashion. So he was a pioneer in his field in the study of undersea mollusks. So this particular one, the sea bunny, as I said, lives off the coast of Japan, but also throughout most of Southeast Asia, from about the Philippines to Australia. There's also a close cousin living off the California coast and might actually be the same species. They're not sure. So the reason it's called the sea bunny is, if you can tell from the name, it looks like basically a sea rabbit. So it's got little branchy like ear things, and it has little weird spotty things that make it look like kind of a furry spotted little rabbit. But those two features, the spots and the ears, are actually sensory organs. The small little spots are really kind of like more like little um, ends that are sensory and help it feel. So they pick up feeling and all that sort of stuff and help it move around. And those are called chirophilidae. Chirophilida. Caryophyllida. So those are its sensory feelers. And then the big things that look like bunny ears, those are called rhinophores. And those help it sense uh, basically almost like smelling detectors in the water. They pick up chemicals in the water, and thus they can almost like smell where stuff is. This is especially true in locating food and in locating a potential mate. But in terms of mating, they're actually hermaphrodites. So it doesn't matter which kind of animal they find, so long as it's just this same animal. It's basically the same animal, just in a different animal. So basically, um, as long as they can find another sea slug, uh, they can mate. So because they in hermaphrodites they have both, again, male and female. I might have mentioned that before, especially when we were talking about the African land snail. So, um, this is also important because sea bunnies don't live very long. They live less than about 2 years or so. And so they need all the help they can get to get as much food as possible, to grow as quickly as possible, and then find a mate basically as quickly as possible before they die. So all those sensory equipments are basically just designed to help them survive long enough to find a mate and breed again. So like a lot of um, insects and other similar animals. It's basically feed, born, feed, mate, die. So definitely like that. But the other interesting thing about these is that these particular sea slugs belong to a specific group called the Dorid, the Dorid nudibranchs. So these are sea slugs that become toxic. And when I say become toxic, they're not born that way. It's not in their genes. Basically, they get that way by eating other things. So things, um, in particular, sponges is one of the main things they feed on, and quite a few of the sponges they feed on have toxic chemicals. And so when they eat those, they absorb those, and thus they become toxic themselves. So it actually makes also, though, not having to worry about being eaten because they're pretty toxic animals. So that's pretty much the life of a um, sea bunny. So it's basically you eat, you mate, and you die, and you gather toxins in your body so you can survive long enough not to be eaten, and you use all those sensory organs as a means to find that stuff, hopefully in time to at least breed. So there you are. There's the sea bunny. So remember you can subscribe to this podcast on YouTube and look out for other episodes. I have about almost 50. I've almost been a year, so there'll be a special when I do that, and I might even do a when I get to 65. I'm at 63 now. If I get 65 subscribers, I might do a special there too. So look for those coming out. So please like, comment, and subscribe. I also have all three of my books, the Crazy Creatures series, on Amazon. So if you search Wesley Bear and Crazy Creatures, you will find my books. And yeah, there you are. Enjoy nature, enjoy drawing, and enjoy God's creation, and have a wonderful day.